Welcome to GigaBrain, brought to you by Spell Labs. This is the podcast where we speak to the smartest minds across the DeFi space, exploring the ideas, innovations, and people shaping the future of crypto.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of GigaBrain podcast. We are here today with SideShift. So I know these guys for a very long time. They are actually also our partners at Hyperwave and very, very excited to have them here. I'm with George, strategist and innovator at SideShift, and also Kate, BD lead at SideShift. Guys, without further ado, I would love to know a little bit about your background, about your history, and about who you are, why you came into crypto, and what did you do before coming into SideShift?
My name is Kate. I've been with SideShift for a very short time. Joined recently to lead BD and integrations. Before that, was also responsible for, normal BD stuff at crypto and AI projects for a couple of years. I came to crypto through quite unusual academia paths because in my region, we have quite strong econ education, and we were fresh grads researching CBDCs, implementations of stables. So it's been always quite close around for the personal use and first investments made that are very sadly to mention right now. And since I had this background in media and communications and some personal connections in crypto, eventually I started doing BD, first for non-crypto projects, and then last year, or year and a half, I went all in, started doing BD in crypto full time, and feeling quite happy about it.
It's the best job. And this is the best job in the world. I can tell you. Travel a lot, meet a lot of people, go to amazing parties, and you do business that's at the same time, which is the best thing in the world. And also, I know that you were a journalist, right? So which type of pieces did you write as a journalist before?
Some type of pieces I would be banned on Twitter right now if I posted. Yeah, so mostly political, social issues. I started as an intern because I was still my high school, early university years. Intern in the local media. Started working with some regional politic officers. But I mean, at some point I figure out it's crossing my values, and there are so many reputational risks. Not like I don't have this reputational risk in crypto, but at least tech got me both from the things and solutions I used, the tech and people I worked with. So it was very smooth transition from media to more still people facing, but more tactical sales focused roles.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you, Kate. George, what about you? I know that you have a very interesting background as a military, and we talk about that a bit in Argentina, and I would love for you to tell a bit about your story, because the way that you put it when we talked is like doing hardcore BD is the same as doing military, in the sense of you are traveling all the time, you are always ready, and you need to be pretty much ready without no sleep and to fill up your KPIs. And it's a very similar mindset. So I'm very curious about your take on this.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks for having us here. Super cool. You introduced me as strategist and innovator from SideShift and ex-military. I think that makes me sound a lot more mysterious and interesting than perhaps the reality. So whilst I am ex-military, yes, it's been my longest running job. I have spent most of that time part-time. It was my last full-time role before joining the crypto industry. And I can touch on that in a moment. But my background, I come from a sort of traditional technology consulting background, working as, I suppose, a sort of technical business analyst, and then later running some projects and programs, but always the intermediary between the business side and tech. So I was that kind of bridge. Especially working in the data space, the fastest way any C-suite exec switches off is if you start talking about data. You can watch the eyes in the room or roll backwards. They don't want to sit there talking about it quite often. So a lot of what I was having to do is communicate large, complex technical topics into something that was human digestible, understandable. So that background in technology consulting and being exposed inside technical delivery teams, I suppose, working within that role where comms was really important, and combined with some of my military experience, I've sort of found my way into the crypto industry in the last couple of months. Very new as well. Kate has far more experience in the industry and has been in the trenches longer than I have. So I've come
You've
in
been in
with
real
obviously
trenches. That's the difference, I guess. But that's the difference. We've been in cozy trenches. You've been in blood and sweat trenches. So I guess it's different, right?
I would love to think that a wet, muddy hole has some transferable skill to crypto. Maybe it does. Who knows? So yeah, that's really how I arrived in the industry. We talked as you said, in Argentina about that blend. I was in a surveillance and reconnaissance unit. So the idea to be the eyes and ears of what's happening around you. That element of effectively what I'm doing in my role now for SideShift in developer relations is being the eyes and ears of what's happening in the industry, talking to new projects, finding out who's building what, not necessarily with a sales agenda behind it, but with a genuine curiosity to understand what they're building, how it works, and then meet the people building it as well to form that connection there. So that's, I suppose, the element that I draw on from the military side of things, is being aware of what's going on around you, asking questions, always remaining curious, and then along with that technology consulting piece of, okay, there's some quite large, nebulous, complex topics and words that a lot of people, myself included, don't know in crypto. So taking that complexity and trying to distill it down to something a bit more human, understandable.
Perfect. So, and now we come to SideShift. So if you can explain to the audience, what is SideShift? And I know that you also, there is the SideShift AI, but AI is just the domain. So if you can explain that, that will also be very funny to know. But before going to funny stuff, like if you can explain SideShift, what it is for the first time listener, how SideShift is important in the space, and what are you building, why it's important, and what it means.
So SideShift is a direct wallet trading exchange. It means that you just need to connect your wallet, set up a pair, an asset that you want to swap, basically, exchange, and do it seamlessly in a very short period of time, opting between a fixed or flexible rate, because we have such options compared to many other exchanges. We support EVM, BTC, Sol, Move, a number of different chains and assets. And I think the idea that SideShift was born is just the freedom of moving assets and being like in this cross-chain interop space, but moving assets with zero complexity. So you don't need to like care about slippage if you don't want to. You don't need to care about long sign-up registration procedure. You just connect your wallet, select the coin you want to swap to exchange, and do it really fast. And that's like it has always been in the core of how we built our product, in our UX, in our backend, in more technical things like integrations. It's just to remove complexities and focus on what really matters. It's fast transactions and as many pairs, like high liquidity and high demand pairs supported as possible.
Got it. And what does the direct to wallet trading system means?
Yeah, sure. I can jump in on that as well. Kate summarized it really nicely there. For the benefit of your listeners, it's a case of that direct to wallet piece is like, hey, I've got Bitcoin in my wallet, and I want HW Hype to start accessing some of the yield bearing products or products within the Hyperwave ecosystem. The typical route to get there is cumbersome, slow. Funds maybe get held, like you're going to have to maybe send your Bitcoin to an exchange. You're going to have to sell that there. You're going to have to then wait and take that what you sold it for and buy the hype. There's a lot of steps involved to do it through the centralized route. Or you could use a risky bridge or a risky DEX where maybe things get stuck or go awry. So where SideShift comes in with that direct to wallet piece is like, hey, I've got a token on a chain here in my wallet. I want HW hype. We can achieve that quickly in one step without having to take on the risk of bridges or potential DEXes, without the slow, cumbersome side of using a SEX. So all without having to leave your wallet. Just go onto the site. You don't need to sign up or put in any details. You can use the service straight away, as Kate said, using that fixed or variable rate, and have the funds received in your wallet. Most people are on and off the site within 2 to 3 minutes. So,
well, so it works like kind of like a bridge, but it's easier than a bridge, right? So what is the under the hood explanation, if you can talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think so. It's fairly funny because DeFi Llama probably puts us in a cross-chain bridge category. Some other like resources put us in a DAX category. I think like we would stay to this definition of like exchange, maybe a hybrid exchange, without like opening up the way of how we works. We also follow similar aggregator models. We source different roads, but with more enhanced security practices than most bridges, and a bit of different architectures than bridges or DEXes itself.
Got it. No, that's really, really nice, and it's a great product, and I'm happy that we are also integrated with you guys. And you also told me that you are working on some new products, namely Swap Pay API. If you can talk about that. I don't know if this is already a bit alpha or not, but you can say whatever you can to the listeners. Very curious to know about the new products too.
yeah, so the new Swap API, Pay API, let's call it the correct name. There we go. So the new Pay API, this is a slightly different use case than our classic swap offering, which retail users can come to the site, or they can use our Telegram bot to swap BTC for Hype or Ethereum for Sol, whatever it may be, cross-chain, as we've alluded to. The idea behind this is probably a similar function if you've used Revolut or another modern banking app, where you can generate a payment link to give either perhaps to a customer if you're a business, or to a friend if they maybe owe you back some money for dinner, and perhaps your friend is a big Ethereum maxi, but you want Solana. So what you can do is generate a payment link where your friend can pay you in Ethereum, but you receive Solana. So it's just leveraging the SideShift API fast cross-chain swaps in a slightly different way, where the person paying pays in a different token or chain, and the receiver can end up with something completely different, whether that be a retail user or a merchant, perhaps.
So, and are you also thinking about building like a credit card, for example? I asked this because all the projects that I'm interviewing right now, they are all doing cards, they are all doing payments. So it's a new thing, it's a new trend. We are also pursuing that. All the projects in Hyperliquid are doing a card now, and everyone is following like the EtherFi card trend. So because you are doing the payments thing, are you also doing a card in the future, or no?
It doesn't look so. I think the core philosophy of SideShift is and will be to like keep products as simple as possible and don't follow the meta, but like be the one. For us, it's simple and accessible cross-chain payments. I think we'll stick to that, be it like for the end user, or be it for more B2B, maybe like merchants or wallets who will be using our API. But for now, we are not like planning any consumer payments, neobank kind of experience for our product lines.
Okay, no, I love that. I love that you guys keeping it very, very simple and very straightforward. I think that, and it works, right? So that's the most important thing. And George, you told me that this payment API thing, you are expanding to multiple regions. You are also doing eventually a Telegram trading bot. Curious about these two topics, which is again alpha. So I'm happy that you are bringing the alpha to the podcast, because that's good. I'm always happy to bring alpha to the users and to the listeners. So what do you mean by expanding to new regions? This means that your payment solution is not available everywhere and you need to expand and to make contracts with different countries, different regions. How does it work?
Yeah, I'll loop back to your question. I'm going to set a bit of context with these new features that we're discussing. So the Pay API, the Telegram trading bot that you mentioned. So until this point, really, SideShift's focus and goal has been to make really fast, trusted cross-chain swaps for users. So a really smooth user experience where support is obvious if it's needed, if something goes wrong, and really refining that core product offering. Only now are we at this sort of, we've achieved that goal, I think, and hopefully ask our users, put it out to them. But from the feedback we received, we've achieved that goal of getting that core product running fast, running nicely, and able to scale. At the point we're at now, we're exploring these new features, as you said. So where does SideShift go next? There's a couple of things to aim for. So the Pay API I mentioned already. The Telegram trading bot is something we launched earlier this year as well. So allows users to use the full functionality of SideShift, all within the Telegram app. They don't have to leave that app. So the Telegram trading bot can perform those direct to wallet trades within that application, which is super cool. And we're seeing an increasing number of users take this on. I think it's probably a slightly different type of user than those who've maybe previously interacted with SideShift, but it's a case of trying to meet users where they're at. Obviously, the industry operates in Telegram. In terms of the new regions, yeah, some exciting news on the horizon. I can't spill too many of the secrets at this stage, but I would encourage those who are interested in the project or like what we've been talking about so far to keep an eye on our socials for hopefully some exciting announcements in the future. But yeah, to your question, we don't operate everywhere at the moment, but that is...
But it's because of regulation, or what is the reason that you cannot offer this service everywhere?
Yeah, a combination of factors. Certain countries, from a regulatory or risk standpoint, me not being a lawyer or in regulation or risk, but there's certain countries where to do business would there's too many bad actors, perhaps, or from a regulatory standpoint, it would be unwise to operate there. Yeah, we have all of this is covered as well. If you're not sure if your current region is accessible by SideShift, we have all of this on our website. And it is a very small set of countries. I think it's about 6 or 7 regions where we don't currently operate, but hopefully expanding to new areas soon.
Got it. Perfect. And what? So I had a couple AI questions here for you guys, but I understand that AI is just the domain. So can you explain that? So why the AI domain if you are not doing AI? For the people that probably search you guys and see SideShift AI, why is the AI there? Is there any component of AI at all, or no? It's just the domain. So I'm curious to know about that, because that was also one of my questions. And I know that by talking with you guys before we started recording, you told me that no, this is just a domain. So if you can explain that to the audience, maybe they have the same question.
Yeah, it looks like so a few years ago, when the company has been in the market since 2018, 2019, and like full scale. But when we were chasing the domain that we really wanted to, .com domain, we figured out it's owned by the boat company. And unfortunately, we're still in the process of bidding and trying to acquire this .com domain. .ai was bought even before all of the GPT meta hype, and actually we could not imagine that it would help so much in terms of discoverability and also the way people memorize the project, because like it's SideShift.ai and this part's like is really catchy. But there is no AI below our users. We'll try to actually change the domain as soon as we can. But for now, it's memorable. It's a great hook and story for me, even as a BD, to explain on every discovery call I make. So
It is. No, it is, because like even for our team, like we wrote a bunch of AI questions, and now I understand that these questions are like meaningless because there is no real AI behind. So it's really interesting to know that. But at the same time, as a BD, it worked because we assumed that was a lot of AI too. So it's good that you have this explanation so that people that are hearing this for the first time or are searching, they know, okay, it's an old school domain type thing. And looking at the DeFi ecosystem nowadays, like looking at Hyperliquid, I know that you are also partnering with a lot of Hyperliquid companies, DeFi projects. Like, what is your relationship with DeFi at the moment? Like, do you want to integrate with everyone out there? Are you trying to expand as much as possible, or you are just trying to integrate with very specific products in specific sub areas of DeFi? Like, how are you looking at your go-to-market strategies as of today?
Well, this is a big question, so I will take the lead here. Again, I think we are like very medium paced in terms of our GTM and expansions. So we have our API that is used by the wallets, including like Bitcoin.com, Trezor, and some others. And for wallets, it will be always like our core expansion line for us being one of the swap providers or smart roads. It's not a secret, and it's like one of the most common integrations that we have. Or we also look into like wider DeFi, especially new apps combining different trading experience. I firmly believe that like having a swap or bridge feature, it's a must. Like having any kind of cross-chain gateway, it's a must for any new emerging product. If you want like your users to be onboarded fast, for example, to bridge transfer liquidity seamlessly, you should do it natively in app. And that's where we come in place. That's where we partner with projects on like new ecosystems. For us, well, Hyperliquid is still a new eco. Many interesting things happening here. We are really happy, like for Hyperway to be this partner, right? For bridging, we are happy to add new assets, especially in the walls and where the users are really incentivized to access this type of liquidity in an easy manner through SideShift. And other than that, we kind of try to mix centralized and decentralized partners. The thing is, I will be most more likely I will be hated for saying this, but I think I already like posted this publicly. A vast majority of protocols can't be fully decentralized. There is still like this centralized or custodial leak, and with recent breaches and hacks, all in all, again and again, we've seen teams like doing some custodial stuff around. That's where even like integrations with swaps is also something that, well, most of our partners can do permissionless, like in a permissionless way, because their API is like basically as plug and play. But we also can provide some like hands-on guidance and work together to maybe set up some custom rates or custom roads. That's where some flexibility happens that is also much needed for emerging DeFi.
No, perfect. I completely understand, and the centralization continues to be a big problem as of today. So I have a very general question that I ask to everyone that I interview about the market, and I want to know your take on this, because this is like a classical question from the podcast, which is, first, if we are in a bull or bear market right now. Second, what is your hype price prediction? So my prediction here in terms of bear and bull, I think that nowadays we are in a very macro scenario. So we are not in a bull or bear, we are in a very political type of market. And I do believe that the cycle, that 4-year cycle is gone. So nowadays is crypto Twitter moving the needle, and what Trump or Elon Musk tweets, it's what dictates the market almost. So it's a very strange market. So I'm curious about your opinion. And about the hype price, I'm not going to tell you my predictions. I want for you to say something. But yeah, Kate, if you can start with your bull bear market and hype price prediction.
Well, I think technically we are in a bear market, but myself and you will hear many more bull sentiments from builders, at least those who are not impacted like by layoffs and stuff, because job market and unemployment, it's a very huge problem. And by builders and by institutional capital that continue to hop on chain and make massive investments despite people claiming that we are in a bear. Well, technically, I think we are. And as for the hype price, well, I'm a hype bull. I will send hype to multiple digits, of course, but I think like long-term optimistic prediction, the price I'm hoping to see, well, again, it's like over 50 and up to 100, and like breaking the top 5 currencies both by price and market cap.
Okay, so 100 up. Okay, that's a good prediction.
100 up.
Okay. George, bull or bear market price prediction?
It's it's a bear market. But that being said, I think there's so much
Why it's
industry
a bear market?
traction. Have you seen the price charts?
I continue to be very bullish.
I am bullish too. I'm bullish too on
yesterday I interviewed some guys that told me like, I get paid to say we are in a bull, so I'm going to say we are in a bull. So that's the builder's mindset, it's like you get paid to say that we are in a bull market, you just say it, that's it. But okay, so you say bear market. I'm very interested on the reason why, because I don't believe that, but convince me otherwise.
I have, I think I've been in an eternal bear market, to be honest, because I've never made any decent money in crypto. but hopefully the tide will change. I'm hanging around for the next bull market, and I am incredibly bullish on the future for the hyperliquid ecosystem. The builders that I talk to in other ecosystem, Kate alluded to that as well. The builders and projects who are actually building this stuff are bullish. And it's hard not to be, especially coming into the industry as new, even though, price action trending downwards, and even Bitcoin acting, as always is the case now, like a more speculative NASDAQ with more violent swings. It's price action is downward, but I think those in the industry now that are creating the next projects, the likes of Hyperwave included, the sentiment is strong, and I think that's going to reverberate through to new user numbers. We see more and more people come on chain, as well as Kate said. So I'm incredibly bullish about the future and excited to see where 2026 goes onwards. In terms of price prediction, I think in the next bull run, and I don't know the dates for this. I'm not going to hold myself to any dates, but I think hype can go $150 plus.
Fair enough. Yeah, so now I like your explanation, because you are saying that even though the prices are low, you see all the builders are very, very strong and very much pushing forward, which is, I think, is a different sentiment from the last real bear market, which like everyone was just kind of depressed a little bit. And now it's like, okay, the market in terms of prices might be down, but people are still very happy building and still believing that, okay, we will have hype at $100, $150, etc. I had the guy here in the podcast 3 weeks ago that said hype to $1,000, so that was the craziest person ever. But that exists, so like that's the funny thing. But Anyway, so to finalize the episode, I want to ask you guys, what about the future outlook for SideShift? If you can say what are the features that you're going to release in, let's say, Q1, Q2, 2026? What can the users expect as novelty, and what will be the next big things that you guys are going to release in the market?
Yeah, I think for sure we'll start with adding new chains. We are very looking forward into the launches of all of these EVM L2s. Well, L2s, not all ones, it could be L2s, but like at this point, I'm being very personal. Yeah, we're looking into the release of new chains, adding new assets, partnering with projects from ecosystems like Hyperliquid, probably Monad, Mega ETH. Base also attracts a number of consumer interests, so we'll see where the retail goes and make sure that we are like one of the first providers to list these assets and provide the best rates as well. And as for like more infrastructure wise, I think we will continue investing our resources into great UX, or like simple trading, maybe adding more features and optimizing our Telegram bot, as well as presenting more into different regions and learning what our customers, consumers, right, the end users from all of these regions have in mind. Because as we traveled with George, like through different regions, and like for George, it was a crazy Asia tour. For me, like it was this very shocking for George as well, but for me, it was quite a kind of shocking visit in Latam. And talking to people, their needs, the coins they use, how they understand crypto. So for us, it will be also a challenge of probably adjusting some experience we provide for different regions. Maybe like adding more customization on top. Telegram is also like one of the features we'll work on. So new assets, new integrations, and expansions into new regions.
Perfect. George, you want to add anything?
Okay, summarize that really well. Yeah, keeping our eyes and ears open to what builders are building and what people want. Ultimately, like SideShift will be there to help bring users from one ecosystem to another and bridge them into, for example, Hyperliquid, as we're doing with you guys, which is awesome. So yeah, remaining open to seeing where this rapidly moving industry sort of swings next, and being curious and open to what options present themselves.
Perfect. Guys, thank you so much. If you can also say to the audience where they can find SideShift, maybe the Twitter account, website, for the people to follow and to find you.
Yeah, we're at SideShift AI. SideShift AI, like not split altogether on Twitter. We also have a Telegram chat, which can be found through our website. Well, SideShift.ai is how you search us on Google, and we'll be some more active, I think, on other socials as well. But Twitter, Telegram, websites, that's where all the alpha is.
Perfect. And if you want to shout out also your personal Twitters, or if you want that, be free to do it. I don't know if you want to dox or not, George, Kate, if you are free to do it too. George.
Yeah, I'm already doxed to the point that I regret being doxed. Honestly.
But you have to be, you are a BD, you are a BD, you need to be extra doxed, so it's...
Oh, well.
Okay, perfect. Guys.
I can share my handle because I'm very unpopular on X at the moment, and it would
share your handle so that people can follow you.
Yeah. I need the self-esteem boost, I think. So, and I'm proud of my new X handle. It's at Dev Metal Guy. I actually stole this off someone who I met at Dev Connect, who was making jokes about
why death metal. It sounds like death metal, like it sounds like a music genre.
Well, I think it kind of encapsulates a few. Like, I spent all day talking with devs and projects, and I like metal, so I'm the Dev Metal Guy. we go.
Okay, I actually
new thing I'm
prefer
going
the agent Linux because you are the agent man. But anyways, this new one, dev metal guy, cool. Kate, you need to share yours. You know, it's already, you are in the you're in the hot seat, and you need to share yours. What's yours?
Oh, that's Kate.
Oh,
Like,
that's Kate.
oh, that's Kate. Yeah.
Oh, that's Kate. Perfect.
As simple
Brilliant.
as it is.
He's brilliant. He's brilliant. Guys, thank you so much. Please also don't turn off because we are still uploading the episode. So, but for the audience, thank you so much for tuning in once again for GigaBrain, bringing you the best hot takes in DeFi at the ecosystem as of today. And I will see you in the next episode. Thank you. And thank you, George. Thank you, Kate. Cheers.
Thank you for hosting us. Cheers.
Thanks so much. Bye.
GigaBrain is brought to you by Swell Labs. To find out more about Swell, go to swellnetwork.io and make sure to search for GigaBrain in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Hit the follow button so you don't miss any future episodes. Thanks for listening.